A new Secretary General of CARICOM takes the reign at the Georgetown, Guyana headquarters of the CARICOM Secretariat. CARICOM coordinating support to Haiti in the aftermath of a 7.2 earthquake. Welcome to this week's episode of the CARICOM News Time. I'm Tusankin English Francis. Thank you for joining us. There has been a seamless transition of leadership within the CARICOM Secretariat as the 8th Secretary General of CARICOM assumes office. Dr. Carla Barnett, the first female and first Belizean to hold the position, took office on Monday, August 16. Chair of CARICOM, Prime Minister Gaston Browne of Antigua and Barbuda, formally welcomed Dr. Barnett to the post of Secretary General during a virtual ceremony early Monday. He laid out some of the medium to long-term goals and challenges and pledged his support to the new Chief Executive Officer. Supporting the recovery in disaster-torn Haiti, accessing COVID-19 vaccines, addressing vaccine hesitancy, finalizing the terms of the CARICOM single market and economy, and strengthening the regional integration architecture were among the broad agenda items he laid out as he set the tone for Dr. Barnett's tenure.
Secretary General, starting today, our first order of business and our top priority will be Haiti. Haiti is now suffering under the most recent humanitarian crisis brought on by Saturday's earthquake. The earthquake and the attendant massive loss of life are painful reminders of the political, economic, and social tragedies that have beset Haiti since its new history began in 1804. As chairman of CARICOM, I believe that the time has come to change the trajectory of Haiti, and we must establish measures in collaboration with Haiti's political directorate and the international community that will allow Haiti to make a fundamental change of direction. That is a longer-term goal, but for now we must bind up our nation's wounds and mobilize assistance to meet the immediate humanitarian needs. In addition to Haiti, many other challenges to the community lie ahead. In the region, we have to tackle the twin contradictory issues of access to vaccines as well as vaccine hesitancy among our populations. And we must not be daunted by these challenges. We are compelled to triumph over this murderous pandemic. We need to refloat our economies while keeping our people safe and to place ourselves in a position to take advantage of the spike in tourism demand that several member states are currently experiencing. Now, the work of finalizing the terms of the CSME remains to be done, and it must be done quickly if CARICOM is to retain the confidence of the people in our member states.
In her inaugural address, Dr. Barnett thanked the CARICOM heads of government for reposing confidence in her and paid tribute to her predecessor, Ambassador Erwin LaRocque.
For the last 16 years, the first 6 as Assistant Secretary General and the last 10 as Secretary General, he devoted himself to the task of making integration work for the benefit of the people of the community. On behalf of the community, thank you, Ambassador LaRocque. I am certain that the community will find an appropriate way to honor your long contribution.
Noting she has no misapprehensions about the severity of the challenges CARICOM faces economically, socially, environmentally, and financially. The new Secretary General pledged her service to the best of her ability.
The thrust to build resilience against the existential threat of climate change in all its dimensions, and the urgency of constructing a recovery from the adverse effects of the COVID-19 pandemic demand our continued focused energy. Even as we address these critical tasks, we cannot afford to neglect youth unemployment, which has led the explosion of the jobless in the wake of COVID-19. A troubling rise in crime, especially violent crime in the home and on the streets. The need to strengthen food security, reduce the incidence of non-communicable diseases, and more effectively address the issue of blacklisting by the major industrial countries and the consequential loss of correspondent banking relations. All of these affect the lives and livelihoods of each and everyone in our community. It is therefore incumbent on all of us to be engaged in finding solutions and taking action to overcome these obstacles in our path to a secure, viable, and ultimately sustainably prosperous community.
Stirring the wellspring of CARICOM unity, she issued a call for all to get involved in building the community.
There is no doubt that the innate sense of community in the people of the region, which manifests itself in both our brightest and our darkest days. We all enjoy our successes in sport, celebrating across the region the recent victories in the Olympic Games. We all celebrate our cultural icons, and with the same spirit of oneness, we do all that we can to help our sisters and our brothers when disasters strike. I see that wellspring of unity as a source of strength to be tapped in all areas as I embark on this journey.
Expressing solidarity with Haiti, she said the country can be assured that CARICOM will do all it can to assist in this time of national crisis. Many took to social media to extend their congratulations and well wishes to the new Secretary General.
I reiterate the community's condolences with the government and people of Haiti and to the relatives of those who lost lives in this terrible disaster. I also wish a speedy and full recovery to those who were injured. Haiti can be assured that the community will do all it can to assist in this time of national crisis.
The toll of the powerful earthquake has climbed to over 2,100 dead and 12,000 injured. According to the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency's fourth situation report, over 300 people are missing as of August 18. At least 650,000 people are in need of emergency humanitarian assistance in the most impacted areas, representing roughly 1.6 million people.
We do know that approximately 16% of the country's population has been affected, and that the impact has been most felt in 3 of the southern departments. These are the South, Granance, and Nippes departments.
The government of Haiti has listed water, tarpaulin, food, medical assistance, and sanitary kits as the priority items needed at this time.
I've been in contact with Haiti's Prime Minister, His Excellency Ariel Henry, in recent days, and I have pledged our support for the Haitian people and would have indicated that we continue to stand in solidarity with our Haitian brothers and sisters.
The required humanitarian items are available for purchase in country. Now, this is a very important point because Port-au-Prince is still operational, which means that commerce is still occurring in country. So a principle that we operate by is that we do not wish to flood the country with relief items in a situation where the supply chain has not been broken and relief items can in fact be procured in country. So in this regard, the government of Haiti has guided that they're requesting cash donations.
CDMA has deployed members of the CARICOM operational support team to Haiti to assist the country's Emergency Operations Center in its coordination efforts. CARICOM member states and CDMA are collecting monetary donations to assist humanitarian efforts in Haiti. Tropical Depression Grace, which dumped heavy rains in the disaster-torn country, killed 4 people, flooded hundreds of houses, and caused landslides. Tropical Storm Grace also affected Jamaica and the Cayman Islands, dumping heavy rainfall, downing trees and electrical poles. For more stories, you can visit the CARICOM news site at today.caricom.org or the CARICOM website at caricom.org. Like our Facebook page, follow us on Twitter, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you for watching. Be safe and see you next time.